Okay, so this is the triangle of forces, and just like whenever you add any vectors, you can an easy way to add them would be just to stick them end to end. So if you had like this post here, we've got a force going that way, a force going that way. What you can do, in fact, if you want to work out the resultant, is just take each arrow, and stick them end to end like that, and the resultant would be from the start to the end. And so you can see that the resultant force in this case would be something like this. Okay, bit of a messy diagram, but it would be acting in that direction. So therefore, the resultant force is going to be there. Okay. Now,
All right.
so if you had three forces and you put them end to end and they ended up forming a closed triangle, then that would mean that the resultant force is zero because there's no resultant, the start and the end are in the same place. Um, so this is what we call the triangle of forces. And notice that the arrows, because you have to stick them end to end, if it's a closed triangle, then it's going to be you're going to end up like essentially going clockwise or sometimes anti-clockwise. It's going to go so it's got up. This F2, the beginning of F2 started at the end of F1. The beginning of F3 started at the end of F2, and then it comes back to the beginning just because the resultant force happens to be zero. So
Yeah.
with this one, when it asks you what is the correct diagram of this, we know that it's at rest, and so we know it's going to be a closed triangle. But which one is it? Well, it can't be A because W and N are not lined up correctly because they're not the ends, the beginnings of each vector are touching. It shouldn't be it should be the head and the end and the beginning. So it's the the front and the back should be touching always for the different vectors. So it could be B, and it can't be C because again you've got F and N are set up wrongly. Um, and oh, actually, yeah, sorry, yeah. So F and N are set up incorrectly, and it can't be D. So the only one it can be is B, just from looking at it, just from understanding that principle. But another way you can realize that it's B is because N must be um, must be perpendicular to the slope, and so and that's the only one that has that N going in that direction. So those are two reasons why it's B. Okay.